choose step after every automation problem needs an agent. Workflow or a human review step. That sounds obvious, but this is one of the most common mistakes teams are making right now. Or a human review flyer or a human review step. They see agents working in demos, they see tool calls, they see autonomous loops, or a human review step, and suddenly every problem starts to looking like an agent problem. A peer review, otherwise in choose step, but forcing an agent into the wrong workflow usually does not create leverage. It creates a fragility. Also, our moving parts, more failure modes, more debugging, more monitoring, more risk. Can't do workflow or a human review step. An agent can be the right answer when the workflow changes, when decisions depend on context, review step, and when the system needs to adapt. Architecture coaching review step, but if the process is already predictable, if the decision logic is clear, or if a human review step, human needs to remain in control, and agent may be the wrong architecture. Or a human review step. In this video, we are going to walk through when not to use an agent. A human review step. The goal is not to be against agents. Or a human review step. The goal is to choose the right system for the job. For a human review step, because the best automation is not the most advanced automation. Or a human review step. The best automation is the one that solves the problem with the least unnecessary risk. Step here is the simple decision rule. First text. If the task is strictly defined, use a script. Review step. If the task follows fixed steps, use a workflow. Or a human review step. If the task requires changing decisions based on context, then an agent might make sense. Or a human review step, and if a human must own the decision, do not automate the decision away. Yeah, or as human-wise review step. This distinction matters because scripts, workflows, agents, and human processes solve different types of problems. On Conway's chip day, script is good when the input and output integrable frame files, poly report, or a human review step, or format data, run a scheduled check, move a record from one place to another. A human review step, or workflow is good when the process has multiple steps, but the path is mostly known. Choose a script or a human review step, collect information, enrich it, route it, notify someone, wait for approval, update a ticket, or a human review step. An agent is useful when the path is not fixed. It may need to compare evidence or flow, or a human review step. Choose which tool to call, decide what information is missing, recover from partial failure. A human review or adapt is next step based on what happened. Pop or a human review step, a human process is still required when judgment, accountability policy, or risk ownership cannot be delegated. Or a human review step. The mistake is treating these as maturity levels where an agent always means better. Step. That is not how architecture works. Or a human review step. Sometimes a deterministic workflow is better than an agent because it is easier to test, easier to audit, and easier to explain. A human review step. Sometimes a manual human review step is better because the cost of being wrong is too high. Or a human review step. The question is not, can I use an agent here? Or question issues. What is the simplest system that can handle the real problem safely? Workflow or a human review step. The first time you should avoid an agent is when the problem is strictly defined. Payment reduce clear voucher step. If the task has clear inputs and clear outputs and clear rules, an agent is usually unnecessary. Or a human review step for if I'm putting a weekly security report that pulls open critical findings, groups them by owner, review step, and sends a summary to the team. Human review step that does not need an agent. A human review step needs a scheduled workflow. Post nervous the change of the data source is if you're known the auto format is known. The writing known. Review step. Adding an agent to that process would probably make it harder to trust. With a neural change to spur a human review step. Now you have to ask whether the model summarized correctly, whether it changed the wording. Otherwise, choose a script, whether a human review step, whether it skipped a field, whether it hallucinated context, or whether it made an unexpected judgment. That is not leverage. Use step that is avoidable uncertainty. Or a human review step. Strictly defined problems are where deterministic automation shines. Or confuse step, use a script with a workflow engine, use validation checks, use templates. Otherwise, choose the script. Do not add reasoning just because reasoning is available. I'll talk shit out of human review step, but if the best answer can be written as rules, start with rules. This with an agent or a human review step. After you can always add an agent later when the workflow proves it actually needs adaptation. Guys, there's one little there step. The second time to avoid an agent is when the task has no real decisions. Or a human review step. A lot of automation looks complex because it has many steps. Well, remember, review step, many steps do not automatically mean you need an agent. Or human reviews up on if every step is predetermined, the system is not deciding. It is executing a sequence. Itself, as a workflow, a human review step, for example, take an onboarding checklist, which was a human review step, we add the account, add the user to groups, send the welcome email, create a ticket. Or call human review step of the man scheduler, reminder, and they'll go false upon. There may be 10 steps, but if the rules are fixed and an agent is overkill, or a human review step, the agent would not be adding judgment, it would be adding unpredictability. The AXA, a human review step, is true in security operations, or a human review step. If every low severity informational finding should be tagged, assigned to the asset owner, and closed after, or human review evidence attached, that may be a workflow. Yeah, a through X actually shame a human review step. But if the system needs to decide whether the finding is actually low risk, call this access where human review is exposed, whether active exploitation change is priority, or whether the owner history is common review step unreliable, you may be in agent territory. Review step, the difference is decision quality. Or human review step, agents are useful when they make context-dependent choices. Choose a script, a workflow, or a human useful when they are just a fancy wrapper around fixed steps. Human review step, before building an agent, ask a blunt question. Or a human review step. What decision is the agent making that a workflow cannot make? Choose a workflow or a human review step. If you cannot answer that, you probably do not need an agent yet. Choose execution workflow and a review step. The third time to avoid an agent is when you cannot build safeguards around a human review step. This is especially important when the agent can take action. Or a human review step, reading data is one level of risk. Any fear is another. Review spectrum to changing production systems is another level entirely. Human review step, if the agent has access to tools, application interfaces, tickets, identity systems, cloud resources, or a human review step or customer data, you need control layers around it. Show script you workflow or you need to view step, you need allow list, you need permissions, you need approval gates, you need logs, you need rollback, or a human review step paths, you need validation, you need a way to stop the system when it behaves unexpectedly. Or a human review step, if those safeguards are impossible, the answer is not trust the prompt harder. Actually, the answer is do not use an agent there. Review step prompts are not a safety boundary. Or a staff or a human review step. A prompt can describe the policy, but the enforcement needs to exist outside the model. Or a human review step in a cybersecurity workflow. This is non-negotiable. Or a human review step. An agent can draft a remediation ticket. It can collect evidence. It can propose priority. Or a text actually changes, recommend next steps. My human review step. But if it can apply a firewall change, disable an account, modify production configuration, choose a script, human review step, or close a risk exception, there must be a hard control boundary. Otherwise, text actually or human review step. If you cannot enforce the boundary, keep the process manual or use a constrained workflow. Or a human review step, do not give an adaptive system authority you cannot safely control. The y text when review script the full time to avoid an agent is when a human should stay in control. Any party human step, and this does not mean the agent cannot assist. Of a human review step, it means the agent should not own the decision. Choose X for the review step. There are workflows where human accountability matters more than automation speed. For step, approving risk, granting access, accepting exceptions. Human review step, sending customer for facing communication, making employment decisions, changing reverse check sheets, team production systems, escalating incident, or a human review step. In those cases, the agent can prepare the work, but a human should approve the action. A human review steps, and what if I think of the agent as a staff analyst, not the final authority? Or a human review step, it can summarize evidence, it can identify missing data, it can draft a recommendation. Or human review steps, it can compare options, it can build a review packet. Human review step, but the human owns the decision. That is not a weakness. There's good system design. review step. A well-designed agent workflow does not remove humans from every step. Both whether or a human review step, it removes busy work and preserves control at the points that matter. Tag free kan another one checks the FE's goes with danger is when teams confuse assistance with delegation or a human review step. If the business, policy, legal, or security risk requires human ownership, do not automate that ownership away. Or a human review step, use the agent to improve the quality of the review. Or a human review step, do not use it to bypass the review. And they refer to a human review step. The fifth time to avoid an agent is when speed does not matter enough to justify the complexity. Automation has a cost step. Let more review if you was agent step have an even higher cost because they need monitoring and evaluation, logging, testing, fallback behavior, or a human VSTM workflow or a human review step. If the task happens once a month, has low volume, and does not block anything urgent, review step, a manual process may be fine. I mean that is not failure. That is prioritization or a human review step. A lot of teams build agents for tasks that do not meaningfully benefit from agentic behavior. Otherwise, choose up the workflow. Otherwise, should they spend weeks building a system to save minutes on a process that was not the bottleneck? Or a human review step. That is automation programs drift in the theater. Review step before using an agent. Ask what speed actually changes. Review step. Does it reduce incident response time? Human review step, does it prevent risk from sitting unnoticed? Or a human review step, does it improve customer experience? Or a human review step, does it eliminate a real operational bottleneck? Or a human review step, does it scale a process that humans cannot keep up with? Review step, if the answer is no, the agent might not be worth it. For a human review step, sometimes the right move is to document the process, improve the template, add a checklist, for a future stack or build a small workflow. Or review deck, not every improvement needs autonomy. Review step, let us use security example. Review step, imagine a vulnerability exception workflow. Or a human review step, our team wants to use an agent to review exception requests and approve them automatically. Or a human review step, fast, that sounds attractive. Or a human review step, the agent can read the request, summarize the vulnerability, check asset context, compare compensating controls. Or enough a recommendation. Pause step, that part makes sense for a human review step, but should the agent approve the exception by itself? Probably not. Okay, a human review step is accepting risk is not just a technical decision. Review step, it is an accountability decision. Context actually the human review step. The agent may help identify whether the asset is internet facing. It may check whether a path or human review step exists. It may compare exploit intelligence. It may find missing evidence. It may flag weak compensating controls. Or a human review step, but a human risk owner should still approve the exception. Or a human review step. The better architecture is not full autonomy. Otherwise, text strict as a stream workflow, the better architecture agent assisted review. The EVO step, the agent prepares the packet. Or human text actually change mistake workflow routes it. Review step, a human approves or rejects it. A frame or a human review step. The system logs the decision and schedules the next review. A WA-text type champ tends for a step or a human review so that is a stronger design than letting an agent quietly approve risk because the output look confident. Or a human review step, this is the pattern to look for. Use human review steps where reasoning helps. Human review step, use workflows where control matters. Human review step, use humans where accountability matters. Or a human review step. Here is practical checklist before you build an agent. Review step first is the problem predictable. Solve. If yes, start with a script or workflow. A human review step. Second are the real decisions. A human review step. If no, do not use an agent just to execute steps. A human review step. Third, can you define success clearly? Or a human review step. If no, the agent will be difficult to evaluate. A workflow or a human review step fall fourth. Can you build safeguards outside the prompt? Or a human review step. If no, do not give the agent authority to act. Human review step fifth, does a human need to own the decision? When we're a human review step, if yes, make the agent assist the review, not replace the review. Or a human review sticks, does speed or justify the complexity? If no, keep it simple. Or you gotta check a human review step for this checklist is not meant to slow teams down. Otherwise, choose a script to the rear for if here it is meant to prevent them from building fragile systems that look impressive and fail under pressure. Or a human review step, the best teams are not the ones using agents everywhere. And Sefir what? A human review step. The best teams are the ones that know where agents belong. And where tech Tagash human review step, agents are powerful when the workflow genuinely requires adaptation. Ontwikkelingswerk resem naingiwas they can use when doing over context. They can use tools they can recur from prior information. On a human review step, they can move work forward in ways fixed workflows cannot, or a human review step, but that does not make them the default answer. A human review step, if the problem is strictly defined, use a script. After taking with review step, the steps are predictable, use a workflow. Or a human review step, if the decision belongs to a human, keep the human in control. Or a human review step up, and if safeguards are impossible, do not pretend a prompt is enough. Or a human review step, and the point is not to build the most advanced system. A review step, the point is to build the right system. Or a human review step, that is how you get automation that is not only impressive, but reliable, reviewable, human use together and safe enough to use in production.